Hello.
And we're live! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What is this madness? Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Naturally One. Welcome back to Naturally One.
I am providing a very unique commodity.
Please tell me the names of your companions.
Who, what, when, where, and why? I don't know if you've captured Hal yet.
Bob is sleeping outside and boiling acorns and having a good time.
Hey, how's our patient doing? Still alive back there, buddy?
Bob, I want you to roll me some percent on this. Not only is there no pulse, he's cold.
I guess that's one less thing we have to drag around.
I got horns, I got some teeth, kind of sharp. I got some tricks up my sleeve.
And make sure that we don't cut ourselves on glass. One's mostly
can we
dead.
use one of the dead bodies to break out the rest of the jagged glass at one of the windows so we don't hurt ourselves?
If you look close enough, you might notice that his eyes are moving so fast that you wonder how he can see anything. And I'm going to say, this is for hurting my friends. And I take my dagger and put it right underneath his chin. Right.
Actually kill him?
Oh yeah, he's dead. I want him.
Oh!
Small human in a big city for the first time ever in his life.
Let me guess, the
Decision, but not
highlight of
one
your
of
life. This is what you're gonna do in order to make a name for yourself, maybe one day even slay some really cool monsters. Just like every one of those guys over there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be here next year. I'm gonna climb that ranking as high as I can, and I ain't gonna stop until I reach as high as I possibly can get.
Welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons with this motley crew of, we can call them people. I don't know if they want to be classified as people, but, you know, that's just the way it works.
Dare you insinuate I'm a people?
I mean, are you part of the human race?
By choice, no.
That's fair. That is actually quite fair.
Is it
most of us...
Is it really a race? I mean, nobody actually wins.
Oh, I want to submit to the of being known. DM, we need a recap, right?
Yes, we do need a recap. So let me know if you want to run the recap, or I can run the recap, but we can recap.
You want me to do it?
Wait, we want Jim to run the recap? That sounds like a
We
plan.
want Jim to run the recap, yes.
Things happen. You miss them, but you live through the experience. Moving on.
All right, okay. So I think you missed the last two sessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the session before the last one, we kind of wrapped up with the interrogation of Theo and Clore while Renningham was enjoying the accommodations at the guard outpost. And then we all got deputized. And meanwhile, Bob and Penn got into a fight with a bunch of changelings that all looked like the same little halfling, except for one of them who turned into a girl and caused a scene when she started getting beaten up by our two trouble-making party members. Then the last session, we started out with, refer back to the notes just to make sure that we've got this all correct. Bob and Penn reuniting with the party just outside of the alleyway. You're immediately questioned by a bunch of guards who wanted to know, why they were there. And there was some interesting discussion about how, they were automatically deputized, which led to more questioning from the guards who were wondering how they could have been deputized when Bob and Penn weren't part of the party, when the party was becoming deputized. So we almost got arrested again. And managed to scrape by.
And we abused our powers of deputies. At least I did.
It was amazing. We investigated the crime scene. Bob declared himself the lead investigator. Detective Bob was the thing. And he successfully calmed a concerned citizen down. She was a real Karen about everything. And then we learned some more information about the tower. It was a metal box with glass windows inside it that wasn't where it was supposed to be. In the mid-level of the fallen tower, in the janitor's closet, just kind of some metal left behind, some weird symbols, some glass. Penn made up a story about something made of sand that kind of disappeared after exploding in the alleyway, so that's something that'll probably come back to haunt us in the end. We headed towards the mines. We had a fun ride on a handcart.
And they call it a
Theo?
mine.
fell out of the handcart, which was fun. And then we zoomed right by a humanoid creature in the middle of the train tracks that was kind of mangy looking with red reflective eyes, and we think that's the thing that ate the lady. And where we left off, we were going to kind of continue and completely ignore that creature. We don't acknowledge that creature.
As you guys had left off at the very end, off in the distance you saw a bunch of lights in what appears to be what you understand to be the way station that was talked about as being roughly the halfway point between the city and the mines.
Sorry.
Yes, Gimli, they call it a mine.
Which
an elf will go underground and a dwarf dare not. Yeah. Anyway, as you guys had left off, you had been sitting on this cart for several hours, going rather fast, not the full speed as the trains that you had seen going before the rapid unplanned deconstruction that took place, but still quite sprightly as you guys have, your wind blowing your hair back as you went past the different stations that have kicked you along and sped you up. As you recall, you popped the cart into neutral and let it just kind of coast as you go. There are levers on both sides that you can pull as brakes. And then there's a mechanism in the middle that helps you pick the direction that you are intending to go. The fact that you're going full speed, I would surmise that you know not to just pop it into the reverse gear, because Lord only knows what that'll do to, well, everything. Pen, don't get any ideas.
I would never.
They said, like a liar.
And reminder, right? We are on our way to the mines because
why are we clothes?
The clothes of the people that the original episode 1 explosion, where there were people leaving the scene or in the area that had similar clothes to those mines.
No, the changelings. All of their clothes looked the same.
Perfect.
And it was kind of like standard work issue stuff. So we had the idea to kind of go and check the mines to see if we could find very slim chance of a lead out there.
But also, isn't there someone that disappeared in the mines that we're looking for?
Well, so there's the cat, there's the painter, there's the lady who got eaten, and we passed by the creature that we think ate
Those
her.
are the ones I remember, cat and painter. Cat, most important, painter, we'll see. If the cat is in charge of a rogue band of kobolds, I'm gonna lose my mind.
What if the creature is the cat? That would be fun. The creature is the painter. The creature is the lady, and the painter looked like the lady.
The painter looked like a lady, popped up the corpse to make it look like
weekend at
Colonel
Bernie's.
Mustard in the mines with the lead pipe.
And they call it a mine.
I need that as a soundbite.
This
really,
is
really
going to be a long episode.
It is. It is going to be. I'm back, baby.
It's 6:15 and we haven't even started.
You said you missed me.
All right.
Oh, we did.
Should we slow down going into this halfway point with all the lights, or should we just power right through?
With what would we benefit from slowing down? We have a destination in mind.
Powering through. I didn't know if there was a checkpoint that we were gonna break a barrier if we just sped right through, or if we should, slow down and check. But
do you have dark vision?
Sure do.
Roll me a perception check.
I can do that.
I feel
Plus
like I have
1.
dark vision.
17.
17? You look ahead and you don't see anything that looks like a barricade or any sort of personnel at the halfway point.
Okay, and the guy at the beginning said that we should keep it in neutral the whole rest of the way, right? Or just when we made the turn?
Then pop it into neutral and hold on tight. Go as fast as you can before you reach the windmill.
All right, everybody.
In a pinch,
hang on.
we can outpace a train, but we can push a train in a pinch if it comes.
Guess we're holding on tight.
I said we could push a train.
I don't see a barricade.
What he said.
Yeah, the hand carts are used for manual movement of the trains when needed, because it's faster to use the hand cart because you can get it moving versus just the very slow roll that you guys were on with the train when it was running just under the minimal power. All right, so you guys, any objections to what has been stated so far?
Nope.
No.
All right, so as you guys continue on, you just kind of slowly, I say slowly, slower than a full speed train, but you guys zoom past the way station and there's the 5 of you all huddled up onto this cart that's really meant for 4 gnomes, and there's 4 medium-sized creatures and a small. As you guys are all huddled up on there trying to make sure that you have just enough space to not fall off this thing as it goes full speed. There's a couple of guards. Say again?
Well, you said there's 4 of you,
medium
size,
creatures, yeah.
and then as small. You didn't finish the sentence. Who are you talking about when you said small?
There's a Verdan in the party who happens to be small.
Average sized.
Average size Verdan, sure.
Yes, which is not to be ignored.
Thus compared to the average human.
I don't want to hear about it. Humans are small compared to ogres, all right?
Ogres are a minority compared to humans.
Well, are we not counting minorities now?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I have a lot to
So we zoom
I have a lot
past.
to
There's a
make up
bunch of
for.
guards. Now what, DM?
Oh no, we're enjoying it. Don't worry.
I missed you so much. It's just not the same without you, Stu.
Alright, so as you guys zoom past, you can see that there's a couple of guards, like, just working materials. There's some windows on the station, some lights, and minimal amounts of activity. They don't seem to pay you any mind as you just zoom on by. It's nighttime now, and if you guys are going to try to have yourselves a long rest, now would be a halfway decent time to give that a go. But I will require some saves, mostly because you're on a rickety cart going, quite fast. Quite fast. Much faster than you're ever used to going. And so if you would like to try to take a long rest, you may all roll Constitution saving throws.
I would like to try.
If there is someone that doesn't take a long rest, does everyone else still need to make a Constitution saving throw?
For those who are trying to take a long rest, please make a Constitution saving throw. Is the most correct way of stating
that. Is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20?
You know what? Hold off. 9 out of 13.
Like a side odor of dirty rice?
Clore would like to prop himself between the handles and the center console where Rinningham saved himself from falling off in the previous episode and lean his head back and just fall asleep to the vibration of the cart moving.
Alright. And that's Bob with an 8.
Bob with an 8.
Alright.
Ooh.
Theo.
Could be a low save. Could be like a 5.
Theo, what you gonna try to take a long rest?
Nah, I think he's good. Okay. He had a little short rest
Actually.
earlier today, and then he got hurt. But he's like,
Yeah, boy got out his slots. What do I need to rest for? I'm slot rich, baby.
To avoid exhaustion? I don't know.
To avoid levels of exhaustion.
Those aren't things. Are they those things? Doing exhaustion?
Most definitely, I think.
So you don't currently have any levels of exhaustion, but I believe, is it Clore that does?
No, I don't. But if I don't take a long rest, I'll get one.
I thought there was someone who got one. It was Bob who got one.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Pen, are you going to try to take a long rest?
No.
So, Clore, you nestle yourself in against the central spot there and try to make sure that, any other natural rocking of the cart doesn't really move you a whole heck of a lot. You actually are able to kind of settle in, and it's not the most comfortable on your back, but you're able to actually get into a nice, comfy rest and start dozing off nicely. Bob, you watch as Clore nestles in, and you're trying to mimic the same thing, and you're realizing that just the way your equipment's sitting, and the shaking of the thing, and just the whole unnatural situation, and you...
I'm just too big to fit on this thing.
Yeah, really, and just you're having a hard time relaxing, and it just doesn't go very well.
Mm-hmm.
You will be able to shoot for a short rest and use whatever hit dice you want out of that, but unfortunately the nice comfortable sleep of a long rest is just outside your reach right now.
Oh, short rest has been taken. Aha.
The rest of you, as the night goes on, just kind of get to watch as the way station with all of its lights slowly drops off into the distance. And there's really no more lights, save for the occasional sparks coming in from the gears where you can see some of the gaps down on the cart that you're on, the rails. You can see off in the distance occasionally the windmill spinning, and it blocks out some of the stars. And there's just this very dim, bluish nighttime light. There's very little reflecting from the moon. It's not very large in the sky. Does anyone want to roll any perception checks or anything? Or are you guys just going to keep the cart on, keep it on rolling?
I'll roll a perception check.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of awake and I'm just kind of looking around and I've got a lot going on. I'm just kind of prestidigitationing little puffs of light.
Hey, Theo.
DM, that's a nat 20.
Is that the
plus a 4 for a grand total of
first nat
24.
20 of the night?
Should I even bother rolling a perception check?
Yes, because I
Yes,
want to see how
good.
funny it is when you roll a 3.
Well, you can laugh so hard at this thick 18 I just rolled.
Ooh, that's a
Nice.
solid 18 right there.
Mm-hmm. All natural, no modifiers.
18 on the die.
On the nose.
Dang.
You know what?
Yeah.
18 right there. That one right there. That's what I
Damn.
rolled.
Nice, nice.
Ooh, that 18.
I'll get you hot and bothered.
Anyway, Theo, roll me some percentile dice.
Okay. Sure. That's a 90.
We're not on fire.
As you guys approach the next windmill and get your next boost, you hit a line of track that is smoother than anything else that you've been on since the beginning leaving the city. And the standard ka-kunk, 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 ka-kunk that you've been having just becomes a dull clink, clink, clink. It's there. In fact, for Clore, it just kind of helps settle him into a rhythmic sleep. And
Thank you.
Aw.
Bob, it's about that point that you're able to get truly into a nice rest. But for those of you who are staying awake and watching, the sky is super clear and the stars are out. And while the moon itself isn't a full lit moon, you can see that everything's at just the right angle and there's just enough maybe moisture along the sand, just the natural dew, that everything in front of you seems to sparkle. Just across. And you can see where the rocks are, and you can see where it kind of slowly turns into parts of the embankments on both sides, but what was just a railway on sand is now a nice, smooth railway over what looks like a small ocean of diamonds without any ripples. And it just goes out as far as you can see. And it's a good 45 minutes to an hour before you approach the next windmill. And as you do and get the next kick, it's no longer the smooth road again. Back to the ka-kunk, 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 ka-kunk. And the sun, or not the sun, the stars are no longer in the right spot, and the moon is no longer in the right spot as time has moved on, and you've just had a nice moment of, hey, yeah, it's the middle of the desert, but maybe it's just not so bad. Can Birmingham roll me a d6?
Guess it's a 3.5.
Stars.
Mute to make sure you can hear. D6. Here we go.
Like a d6. Like a d6.
So, D6 has 6 sides. Everybody knows. 1.
That is one of the sides.
That is in fact one of the sides. Is that the side that rolled?
That is the face up number. Would you like the face down number? Because the face down number is actually a 6. Believe it or not.
Unfortunately, the way we play typically is the die that the number on top is the one that we care about. Except when you have a D4 that has them at the base as opposed to at the tip. And I think those D4s are wrong, and you shouldn't make them that way.
Yeah, wild.
I've been playing this entire game wrong for the last 14 episodes.
Wait.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, Dave, I need to understand something, Dave. What happens in episodes 11, 12, 13, and 14? Because we're only on episode 11 now.
I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to change.
All right, trust.
Yeah, so it's a 1.
That's none of what Dave has to say. All right, so it's a 1.
You know, a fun little 1. You know, just a teasy little 1.
Okay, that's not bad.
I'm trying to get a long rest here. Why you got to roll a 1?
Yeah. So I need you, Renningham, to roll me some percentile dice.
See what we can do. There's a 10. Here we go. Oh, that one fell off. We're gonna go with a 25. 25.
The cart, as it continues to go, you've kind of picked up the rhythm about how long it takes before you reach the next windmill and get launched again for more speed. And you've picked up just the sound and the rhythm, and you go, oh, it should be about time for the next kick. And before long, you see off in the distance there is a windmill, and it's spinning and doing its thing. Do you have dark vision, Renningham?
You know, I don't think I do. But I do have my my handy dandy owl companion who probably does. So if it's something that's like, whoa, no, then they might tell me about it. If they're out about. I don't know what happened to Steve.
Pen, you're still awake, right?
Yeah.
Are you towards the front of the cart or towards the back of the cart? I forget.
I believe I'm riding with my... I think Bob and I are both riding with our backs to... Yeah, because when the cart takes off, we lean into the bar. We don't get pulled from it.
Okay, so you're facing forward, but you're towards the back. Yeah. Or you're towards...
If it's a cart and we're lifting it up and down, and if the cart's going forward and we're being pushed, that means my back...
Okay.
I'm facing the direction we're coming from, and I can't see where we're going.
And I do just want to clarify, my owl's name is Scott, not Steve.
Scott.
In case there's any
The
confusion.
important lore that you were
It
supposed
was,
to remember.
I
So
know.
good job.
It's been a while, I apologize.
Yeah,
Scott
I mean-
hasn't come out since we tricked that one cart guy into thinking it was haunted.
That poor guy.
Yeah. I mean, that poor owl that, you literally forgot about for several
Hey, I didn't, there were two
In your
sessions
bag.
that I didn't forget about it. You forgot about it.
Whoa.
I remembered it. I was holding my newborn child thinking, you're beautiful, but you're not Scott.
No, but you left Scott in your bag up until that point.
By the way, this is now on the net and it will be there forever.
Yeah.
All right, Pen, I need you to roll 4d4.
Wow. Okay.
All these weird dice rolls. I'm kind of nervous.
Kind of nervous. I'm very nervous.
I love keeping you guys on your toes. It's more fun this way.
Percentile die. Roll a d6. Roll 4d4. What's next? Roll a d2 and pick a number and pray.
Physically impossible.
It's more fun if I make you guys roll a dice.
Roll the
We're
coin.
doing 44, one at a time.
I like those rolls if you're rolling damage for somebody else, not for us.
Those are all strong rolls. I thought the first roll was a command that rolled 4d4, and I was like, you can't. That's not. Can't do
If
that.
you click the die 4 times, then you can click roll and roll 4 of them. Okay, so who is looking forward off of, besides Rinningham? Just Rinningham?
Well, Theo's kind of keeping out, but he's not going to be very useful. He doesn't have night vision.
Oh, this is
dark vision, he's a
perfect.
human.
This is going to be splendid.
Everything is dark and gray.
So, up ahead. And Rinningham, you're the one who's looking forward and just happening to notice this. It's about an hour after you guys get back onto the track, or the rickety version off the smooth section. And as you're approaching the next windmill, you, on the approach, probably 10 seconds or so before actually being within range of them, spot 14 small figures. Their skin kind of shimmers with a reddish gold and bronze. They appear to have tails, and possibly horns, and they're all wielding very simple weapons. And they all are standing on the tracks and beside the tracks menacingly as this cart comes at, not full speed, but pretty damn fast.
So I'm gonna rouse everybody and say, oh shit. Well, looks like there's some people expecting us. And I say, well, I'm gonna do a little prestidigitation, make some sparks go out, kind of light the area if I can.
Prestidigitation for a little bit of light. That gives you about 5 feet of light. It's not like a light spell.
Right. It's like a burst of sparks. Got like a 10 foot range, so it's not even close enough. But yeah, you said it was 10. We have about 10 seconds before we get.
Basically 2 rounds. You got about 2 rounds before you are about to, with your cart going at its speed, about to interact with 14 figures. Those of you who are arousing can look around and see that they appear to be kobolds.
Are they on the track or just on the
Some of them
sides?
are on the track, some of them are off to the sides of the track. They have spears and short swords, and they're basically looking menacingly at you all as they approach, as if they were going to try to stop and raid the cart.
Cool.
Is there
This is the Great Train Robbery.
Yeah. Can I, real quick, just 2 Eldritch Blasts right down the middle? I got 120 feet.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
If there's one of them on the track, I want to hit them.
There's about 4 of them standing there on the tracks, and then the other ones are kind of on the side.
Cool. I'll hit one of them.
I just grab the lever and I just start working it as fast as I can, trying to gain speed. We're gonna run this blockade.
Okay.
I got a 19 and a 20. Not natural, just a 19 and a 20.
Okay. Roll damage.
Okay, let's see.
What is damage with the cart? Oh, wait, sorry, Eldritch Blast.
The first one is 8 damage.
Okay.
And the second one is 7 damage.
So you basically pop off 2 Eldritch Blasts, and you watch as the their bodies just kind of like get a hole burned straight through them, and they just kind of flunk over to the sides, and the cart continues to move. Does anyone else take any actions on this round? Theo, what are you doing?
Theo would like to ready his shovel.
All right, so Theo is leading over with the shovel. Penn stepped away, so we'll circle back to
working
Penn.
those levers. I'm working those levers.
All right, Birmingham and Bob are working the levers.
I can only fire 1. I fired 2 with the 2 rounds that you said we had before we interacted. I can only do. I'm sorry, I messed that up. I can only fire 1 of those at a time.
Okay, so we'll take the first one, and you still kill off one of the kobolds.
Very cool.
Apologies, come back.
All right, Penn, you are approaching rapidly on a group of kobolds that look like they would like to, raid the track travelers.
Oh, that's mean of them.
Floor just popped off an Eldritch Blast and turned it into dust. So what do you do?
I'm gonna use. Oh wow, I only have 1 slot left. Okay, I'm gonna use Magic Missile.
Magic Missile. All right. Which ones are you targeting?
I get 3 shots. Is that right?
Yep.
Just the 3 closest. Wait, how many are there?
Now there's 13. There was 14.
Okay. I'll focus actually all 3 shots on the stronger kobold.
Yeah.
I'll do one on the each closest 3.
Okay. It's an auto hits, just roll damage.
Damage, come to me.
Remember to shop local for your kobold skeletons.
Your blur is blocking us from seeing whatever it is you're trying to show us, Stuart.
Yeah, that was for Dave.
Was it a diaper sponsorship?
It's a box of chips.
Oh.
So, Miss Vicky's, if you're listening, I love your salt and vinegar.
Miss Vicky may play good.
Hashtag no free shoutouts.
Oh, well.
Did you know that most people say that people that enter the BDSM community tend to like salt and vinegar chips the most?
Sorry, what?
Today on Dungeons and Dragons, we're going to educate you on the subtle intricacies of the BDSM
Dungeon
communities.
side of Dungeons and Dragons.
Wait, what did you say about my favorite chip flavor?
Something you want to tell us about your
It
private
means you're
life?
kinky,
No, don't
Dave.
kink
It
shame
means
here.
you're kinky. That's
Is that
fair.
like an actual statistic? Did somebody actually research that?
Yeah.
Really?
No, it was just a TikTok trend.
This is a family podcast.
Oh, it is?
No, it's
We're
not.
family friendly?
No,
we're
in
not.
that case.
No, we're not.
Suddenly this is an ASMR stream.
Lied about it.
Okay, so Penn fires off 3 magic missiles. And as he does, the closest kobold on the right-hand side just kind of gets like popped in the head and just kind of clunks off into the stand behind him. The other 2 take their hits, and you can see them flinch and recoil painfully, but they are otherwise still standing. All right, next round. Rittingham and Bob continue to pump on to try to gain more speed. Floor, second Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, do you want me to re-roll for it?
Preferably, yes.
I will definitely do that. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Plus 5. That is only a 14.
Still hits.
That is beautiful. And the damage is a 10.
Nice.
All right, so you watch as the other kobold that you had originally planned on hitting just kind of knocks off into the dust. Theo, there is now a kobold physically within range to whack with a shovel.
Yes! Yes!
Ooh.
I want to do it! I want to whack him with the shovel!
All right, roll to hit.
All right.
This is exciting.
DM, that's another net 20 plus a 4 for 24.
Roll that damage. That's sweet, sweet, tasty crit damage. Look at
Tyson
you,
is
2
excited.
nat 20s.
All right. There we go. So 14 damage.
So that's crit, so that's double damage already?
I think so. I mean, I've never actually rolled an attack in this yet. It said crit. So
Okay, then yes,
did it
yes,
already
it
double
did.
my
It
damage?
doubled the dice, which is what it's supposed to do. Cool.
Then yes, then I'm good.
All right.
That's a 14.
It does that
And I was
automatically?
holding it slashing wise, by the way.
Oh, see, now that you tell me that, as you just kind of, you don't even have to swing much because the cart is going fast enough that you just,
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
and it just cleanly the kobold's body stays as the head just kind of doesn't
Yes.
And then it's like a moment or two later that you watch as the cart continues to go by that it just kind of like flumps over. However, Hen, do you have any other actions you wish to take as you are about to be surrounded entirely by kobolds?
Yeah. I'm gonna use Acid Splash.
Oh yes. That sounds incredible.
And are there any particular? Do any of them look like stronger than the others that are nearby?
No, they all look about
They all
average.
look the same average.
Yeah, they all look about average.
Okay, then yeah, I'll use Acid Splash and hit the 2 closest targets. If that, well, whichever target is closest and has a buddy next to him.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Oh my gosh. Okay. They both fail. Great. It's the best thing ever.
Full damage.
Yeah, roll for damage.
No, full damage. I said.
Yes, but you also need to roll. Oh my gosh,
So
max
then roll
damage.
for
And
No, full damage. You get full
I know,
damage.
full damage. So the first kobold is one of the ones you'd hit with a magic missile, and he had already taken some damage, and then takes more than his total max hit points in acid damage. And he just kind of like sizzles, and you watch as he just kind of slumps over, and there's not much left other than a small husk shaped roughly like a kobold. The other one
that's gonna come back to bite us.
takes it to the face again, and also just like you watch as it kind of just melts his head and shoulders, and he just kind of slumps over, and it's not nearly as complete, but it's enough that he's now down for the count as well. The remaining kobolds, it's now their turn. All right, so Theo, what's your AC?
Theo's AC, that is a grand 14, DM.
Plead the fifth. You don't have to tell him that.
Guys, my alignment in real life is good aligned. You know, I can't lie to the DM.
That is a 17 to hit as he tries to stabulate you with a spear.
That hits.
And this is all in passing. Like, we're still.
Yeah, this is as you guys are
moving
rolling
by.
past. Yep.
Sheesh.
Wait, how are the kobolds keeping up with us?
No, it's literally in the few seconds as you guys are passing by them. There was 2 rounds of you guys approaching. They couldn't really do much of anything. You are now literally in range of them for this moment as they are trying to take stabs at you.
I can't wait till the DM just calculates the cart damage that they're going to take. That'll be fun.
You take 4 points of piercing damage.
All right. Okay.
And then one of the other ones tries to sling a rock at you. Let's see how that goes. That is an 18 to hit. That hits.
Hits.
Oh!
The dice are rolling hot for the DM.
They are. That's less than bueno. You, as you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, great. Okay. Wonderful. Hey, I have a grand total of 22 HP max. Right now I'm down to 8, so, you know.
Welcome to level 2 squish.
Floor, what's your AC?
Bopping 13.
Let's see about you getting curstabulated with a spear. That's a nat 20. All right.
Send it my way. I'm a little more squishy than my buddy Theo, but
gosh, really? They really just. Oh my gosh, they rolled min. You take 4 points. 2 ones on the damage dice. You take 4 points of piercing damage as it just kind of reaches out, and you're able to just barely like suck your gut in enough where you can feel it and it hurts, but it's not putting you under.
Can I? These guys are gonna get like 1 turn. Like we're going through. Can I use my Colossus Endurance and I get resistance to 1 incoming non-magical?
As a reaction, your skin. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna just.
Cool.
I'm gonna really just look him in the eyes. He just tries to stab me and just take 2 points and not even flinch.
They elect Clore their new leader.
Yeah, you're like, suck it. And then
We don't have a leader.
We were just
one of the other ones in range is going to sling a rock at Renningham, just kind of wildly, and the rock goes wide. They rolled a 10.
Big miss.
They rolled a 10. That's cool. All right. So now I want each of you to roll 2d6.
All of us?
Mm-hmm.
All of us, all of us, all of us!
All of you, all of you, all of you.
8.
You got a 4 total? 2 2s?
6 total.
7.
You know, if we were playing Yahtzee,
Grand total of 8.
Ooh.
All right. So as the cart zips by, two things occur. Actually, Winningham, roll me an intelligence check. Not a saving throw, an intelligence check.
Wait. 18! Haha!
Yay!
You realize as you've been going up and down, and Bob had just joined in, you had been sitting underneath where you're supposed to set it in gear. It's still neutral, and you've just been flapping your arms. And you realize this. You realize this as the cart plows through and just splatters 4 of the kobolds
Love it.
into just spray. There's just now you guys have a nice thin coating of
the mist,
the wonderful dark ochre mist, musky mist of kobold ilk as you just kind of zoom past. And the other ones you can now hear as they trail off into the distance as they cry out angrily, and you hear rocks and things kind of land behind you as they try to...
Good luck, nerds.
And then you pass the windmill, and the cart kicks off again, and you're like, oh! And you realize that's when you have the exact moment of realization that, oh, the lever's not doing nothing.
Bob, I appreciate the effort, but it looks like we were never in gear. So, and I just take my hands off the lever.
Yeah.
Wait, if he takes his hands off the lever, isn't he small enough to go flying?
No, I mean, you guys kind of stabilized with the momentum. It was just the early on when the kicks were keep happening. Like the really big oomph, you guys have gotten used to it after the hours you've been on it.
Okay.
Yeah, you could lose your footing if you were to try to do something like acrobatic, but I'm leaving that within realm of reasonableness. What were you going to say, Ringham?
No, just that I
Oh.
I just let go. Yeah, I'm
I
no
think Cora had a
longer
question
putting
over here.
effort into this. It's a neutral.
I have a question.
What is your question?
We're past the group, and how many did we kill total? It was like 7.
You're gonna start making notches on your quarterstaff.
We're gonna put notches on the side of the cart.
I mean, as a group, how many did we kill?
The battle wagon.
Cart included 9.
Yes. Okay.
That was the number that I...
As we go by, is there time to make another attack, a ranged attack, as it were?
Yes.
I'm angry. I was woken up from my slumber.
You come into my train tracks.
I would
You
like
attack
to
my train cart.
I'm just gonna tell you what I'd like to do. You tell me what I need to do. So I would just like to reach to my waistband and grab a dagger and just throw it, which has 60-foot range, at whatever one is still alive. And then, because that's how the timing works out, before I leave my 120-foot radius, if it's within the time of another round, I would like to shoot an Eldritch Blast at another one of the kobolds. Just for good measure.
So, just for posterity, I'll just cat one at a time. You will probably lose that dagger unless you come back.
I'm fully prepared to lose this dagger in the skull of a kobold.
Okay. That particular order of operations is the way you should do it to be able to complete this task as you've kicked off and going with the zooms. So yes, anyone who has an action they'd like to do within a range of 60 feet can take it basically during this turn. We'll start with Clore, with taking out a dagger and slinging it far. So roll to hit.
That is a 19 to hit.
That is a hit. And roll damage.
I'm going to regret this because I don't know that I can do enough damage to kill it. And I'm going to lose my dagger. But
You're just wounding him at this point.
yeah, I want him to feel it. Okay, that's a 5.
That is their HP. So you whip the dagger, and these kobolds, they're like trying to run after you guys. You hear the rocks hitting, and then you just see Clore just like stand up, judge the wind, and just like, and you see the dagger just fly, and then one of the kobolds, as he's running up, he's got his spear ready to throw it, and he just like takes it to the head, and then falls over.
Oh.
I was asleep.
All right. Anyone else have any actions they want to do within 60 feet?
I'll do acid splash again.
Okay.
Finish that.
What's the point of being a wizard if you don't use your cantrip?
You're just bullies.
Yeah.
You know?
Bullies? They were trying to ambush us.
Nah, maybe they were
Yeah,
bullies.
no, Theo's just kind of
We
ducking
didn't even
and
ask
covering.
them.
He's
They
not
were just trying to let us know the bridge is out.
All right.
Oh no.
All
One of our, we're not quite sure exactly how it happened, guys, but the tracks down the way, they're all in disarray. The windmill's going crazy. We're trying to warn
imagine
you.
if we were trying to wave down those trains that were coming by whenever the disaster of unknown origins was happening, and they just crashed.
I don't know how effective that would be.
Yeah, and then
you
they
know?
just
like,
hit us in the head with a shovel as they
and
go
stuff?
by.
Yeah.
And then as they go by, someone else throws a knife at you.
A sweet shot.
Pen, roll me a d4, leaving certain things up to the chance. So, okay, that actually works out really well. So you sling out your acid splash, and it catches 2 kobolds as they are running behind. One of them happened to have been hit earlier by a magic missile, and it kind of hit him in the upper, area. So he's not as apt to pay attention to exactly what's going on, and so he takes the acid splash to the face. And he just goes down, and his friend is able to be like, "Oh shit!" and barely get out of the way, and only takes partial damage. So now there are just 3 kobolds left. Yeah, 2 are down.
Nice.
Anyone else have any actions they want to take within 60 feet? All right, we are now. The distance is widening. So, Floor, it's time for your Eldritch Blast.
Thank God.
Yay!
16 to hit.
16 hits.
Let's do damage. 11 damage. Goodbye.
And you watch as another, bolt just kind of shoots out of your hand way off into the distance. And it's just outside the range where you've seen about how far it goes before it just kind of dissipates into just nothingness. And you see one of the shapes off in the distance drop. Pen, do you have anything you want to do at this range?
No.
All right.
How far out are we, DM?
Now you're about 100, just under 120 feet out.
Okay, Theo's range, effective range at minimum is 150 feet. Can he just knock an arrow, take aim, and wait for it to be right outside?
You can. I'll allow it.
So he doesn't
I'll
roll
allow it.
disadvantage?
Send it.
Sure.
Rule
All
cool.
right.
This is for funsies.
I'm curious here. I want to see how my Archer boy does.
Nuh-uh.
That's a 20, dirty 20.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you manage to get another nat 20?
No, it's
Oh.
a 13 plus a 7 for a dirty 20.
All right, dirty 20. Yep, no, that hits. That definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Grand total is 7 damage, DM.
And you now, for those of you with dark vision who, can see, basically as the extent of your vision is kind of going off, you see one more of the kobolds drop. Leaving one.
Is there one left?
As the distance continues to increase.
The completionist that Clore is hops off the cart, sprints backwards.
There were only 5. There were only 5. So Clore killed 2, Pen killed 1, Theo killed 1. So there's only 1 left.
There's 1 left.
Oh, I
There's one left.
hate that for us. I'm gonna think about that kobold for the rest of the
Here's the
campaign.
thing.
If I send Scott to
my outside
carry a
range-
dagger and drop from a height,
Just drop a rock on his head.
You know what? No, he's gonna be alone and have to think about what he's done.
you're setting up a big bad evil guy in like 6 episodes. Is what you're doing.
Send it my way. Oh, a big bad evil kobold.
Terrible.
You know what, Clore? I wasn't gonna do anything with that, and now I might. This could be really fun, and it's gonna be 6 episodes from now, which, as we all know, is like 2 months from now. You're gonna
He
forget.
won't be the BBEG. He'll be the minion of the BBEG, the one that comes in a knife in the night and is like, "Remember what you did? You could have just passed."
No. He's going to be the guy that the big bad comes and gets us. He'll be the lieutenant. Then right before the big bad wins the battle, he will snipe him in the back and then step forward and say, "Remember me?"
And then he kills us.
All right, campaign.
Well,
over.
he also
Perfect.
feels the satisfaction of you killing the big bad evil guy, because the big bad evil guy will be like down, ready for the final swing. He's about to give like a speech at the end, and then this kobold just kind of comes up and shanks him. That's like.
I mean, here's the thing, DM. My outside range is 800 feet.
Send it. Oh my goodness, send it.
Can I try? Can I just try?
With disadvantage, might as well.
All right, I'll try with disadvantage.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
You know, I have soap in my
Try with
inventory. I could
disadvantage.
just fling a bar of soap at this kobold.
Give me a big roll.
Sorry, the mental image there is delightful. Okay,
Big.
roll 1 and roll
Yes.
2.
Oh my god.
That's an 18. Does an 18 hit, DM?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And your minimum damage will because it was the wounded one.
That's a 9 damage.
Okay, and I'm only doing this because of the conditions of the fact that it is at night. And you don't have dark vision that goes out that far.
Oh no.
That's right, I don't.
You are shooting at a shadow way off in the distance.
Uh-huh.
Roll me some percentile dice.
Roll percentile
Roll
dice.
me some percentile
Okay.
dice.
Alright. 20.
Okay, you watch as the arrow soars and you see this black speck disappear into the distance, and you are pretty certain, and you watch the arrow land, and then the dark silhouette slopes.
Okay, so Theo's like, looking pretty banged up here. And he's got blood on his shovel for the first time ever in his life.
And all of you kind of have a spattering from when the cart kind of, extricated the lives from some.
He's covered in blood.
Yeah.
He just kind of puts his bow back on his pack and says, I hated that. I absolutely hated every single second of that. That was the worst. Is it like that all the time? For you guys who do the fighting thing all the time?
In response, I look at Scott, the owl, and I, in my mind, I tell him to go confirm the kill.
Good call.
Give me a wisdom check.
Which actually, thinking back, don't know if his movement speed is enough to keep up with the track. So,
give me a wisdom check.
Yeah, okay.
While he's checking his wisdom,
yikes,
Thor will just put his hand on Theo's shoulder and say, you do what you have to do to protect the people you care about.
That's a 6.
I'm aware.
I rolled a 6.
I want to go home. But...
So, yes, you are correct in your assumption of, Mr. Scott's, speed might not be the best, but it might not take him too long to get back. So you haven't released him yet, but, there's some plausible deniability on his ability to get back to you in a reasonable amount of time.
I don't trust it. He's a very small owl. I forget that sometimes. I tell him, you could have checked him if you wanted to. You could have gotten there and gotten back in time. Yes, you could.
Oh.
Can I ask a mechanic question? Is Rinningham saying these things out loud, or is this a mental?
I'm saying those ones out loud. The reassurances are coming out loud, but also mentally, just because after I told, like, there was a moment of bloodlust, it was a moment of weakness, and I feel bad because Scott isn't like that, and he wouldn't have wanted to go and see that. But he's okay. He's okay. He's fine.
Or takes a mental note of the only positive interaction Rinningham has had since this campaign started is with an owl.
We've shared a few things on the road, me and Scott. All right.
Mostly
These
beers.
owls should never
Scott
sleep.
and I. Okay.
I'll drink to that.
Oh man. All right. Floor. Roll me a d6.
That is simple enough. Not sure about the consequences of said D6. That would be a 5.
All right. You guys, after a little bit, managed to settle back down. You don't really see anything happening off in the distance, and for the next 5 hours, you're able to continue your long rest. Bob, you're able to settle back down and try again for continue your short rest. And the rest of you guys have an opportunity now to take a rest as well.
Theo would like one. Yeah.
All right, Theo, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Okay. It's a 17.
All right, you're able to settle down and find a comfy-ish spot. After a little while, you're able to kind of get a bit of a doze going. However, anyone else going to try to take a rest during this time? Pen?
Sure.
Oh, Pen? Okay.
Yeah.
Sleep is for the weak.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Me, I'm weak. Thank you. I'll sleep. Thank you. Weak.
Hi.
All right, Theo, with your wounds and everything, and just the expenditure of energy and effort, you're like, okay, well, that's a lot more than I've ever had to do in this regard. And you just kind of like remind yourself of the long days toiling out in the field. Having to then, after working hard, going and chasing your siblings around, and then making dinner, and just kind of all the other things. And when you got to bed, you finally just out like a light. And so you finally find a comfortable spot, the rhythm starts to lull you, and you manage to get yourself a good long rest. Pen.
Thank you, DM. I appreciate it.
Unfortunately, the noise on the gears just isn't doing you any services. You're used to quieter nights than this, or maybe some rabble from some town folk, but nothing like the constant as the gears also make grinding noises every so often. And you're able to take a short rest, but nothing.
Okay.
No comforts enough for a long rest for you. However, at the end of the 5 hours, you begin to see cresting from behind you, really, kind of just slowly working its way up in the distance as sunlight begins to slowly reveal the space in front of you.
Can I go ahead and take that long rest then?
Yes, you may now take your long rest.
Perfect.
Okay, now I'm assuming that this is the short rest that we discussed earlier.
Yeah, because you got interrupted with all of that, and it's one of those, it's more about can you get comfortable with the way things are going, and the answers were no. And this is kind of pushing it on the times for a long rest anyway.
Just a bit.
As you guys begin to rouse from your rest, you can see
level up. Oh,
out in the distance. Actually, let me do some math real quick on how much that would be if we were doing experience, because we're not.
What is the cobalt experience?
They are 25 each.
I wonder if you could just. This sounds terrible, but you could breed them and then farm them and then just.
That's not how that works.
Terrible.
That is not at all how that works. Oh my gosh.
No, that's D&D. It's not real life.
God, just imagine someone being like, "You want some combat experience, guys? You pay me, you come into my basement. There's a bunch of kobolds just waiting for you to kill them." Like, how horrible would that be?
Oh, you poor people don't know my alignment. Oh no.
It's like a setup for like a horror movie. What is this?
Yeah, but it's
Hostel?
like experience farming. You could actually charge for experience farming, and I could practice necromancy.
Chlorine.
I just bring them back every time, and then you just keep signing up for more experience.
That would be a
lucrative
distinctly
business
evil
opportunity.
See, Chlorine, Theo, no, we got it covered. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Or I mean, Chlorine Pen, not Theo. Theo's not.
What was that game where you played the bad guy on D&D and you started out as like a first level kobold, and you like started the day and you met like your instructor and he's like, okay, well, go out and make them feel good. And like you had to come up with ways of like dropping treasure indiscriminately with nobody noticing. It's like, oh, you're first level. I better give you this little trinket that fell out of my pocket unsuspecting.
See, that sounds like a delightful
I
game.
can't remember what that was. That's what this is reminding me of.
That might be fun to go find. But yes.
Sounds delightful.
As you guys are finishing your rest, you would have gotten like 1,000 experience for that because you managed to kill all of them.
Could have definitely used that right about now.
Yeah, but we're checkpointing this, so.
I mean, I've already killed like hundreds.
We don't talk about that.
Oops.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about that yet. We'll get to it.
Can we just like out of game moment here the fact that like yes, I just used acid splash on like 4 of those bodies, and a good investigator might find a correlation.
Acid is so common. It's not like it's tied to your DNA. It's just a little
Acid
splash
rain.
here, a little splash there.
I mean, there's a difference here though, because one was, dropping acid on the tracks in a controlled amount, and the other one is just.
Acid is acid. If I spit water out of my fingertips and I spill a bottle of water that I purchased at a store, can you tell the difference between them?
Besides,
Maybe you don't think the kobolds did it.
How many animals?
You actually might have helped us.
Cobalt on cobalt crime. That's how they'll get away with it.
There we go.
And there's a lot of animals that spit acid in the world, so.
Like dinosaurs.
I guess.
Mono
And they have
dragons.
feathers.
I mean, acid. What is venom but acid that's just inside your body? You know what I mean?
That's not how that works, but
Yeah.
okay.
So what's happening next? So we're
some of the
going along.
mines.
We're going straight.
All right.
And as you're heading off into the distance, you guys see slowly being revealed by the sun as it illuminates the western side of the valley and the end where the mountain begins, a rather large cavernous opening. And the tracks that you are on off in the distance have a merging point before it appears that a single track continues forward into this mountain. And I think this is a good spot to take like a quick 15-minute break.
Yay!
Before we, change gears. So
an opportunity to go put my laundry in the dryer?
Yes, or use the restroom or grab a snack. And the same for those viewers out there like you who are watching and enjoying this.
And doing your laundry.
If you two have to go go away from the computer for a second, you can do it now.
Yes, and
thank you.
That's a thing. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. And we're back. We are here. So, after having traveled now just over a day, really, as you're heading into the next morning, you see off in the distance a cavern, a large cavern opening in the side of the mountain.
Is it a cavern opening or is it a cavernous opening?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically.
Just making sure.
And as we all know, technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Best kind of correct.
And also off in the distance, you can see the switch point where the tracks start to converge and eventually turn into a single line. All of you have a nice misting of kobold ilk all over you from the careening of your cart into what appeared to be a group of wannabe bandits that had tried to, maybe slow you guys down, and instead you just kind of took a couple hits, but struck back with force, and as far as you could tell, completely annihilated a small band of kobolds, all 14 of them, because when you're speeding by on a cart, action economy is a little different. Because rules is written, that would have been a deadly encounter. 14 kobolds against the 5 of you. However...
Nick and I have the high ground.
No. And so, you guys are approaching the entrance to the mines. Is there anything you guys care to do now that the sun is rising?
We're sure there's no more windmills in our future.
There is at least one out in the distance.
Do we want to try to slow it down maybe after the windmill, just in case? We don't know what's inside the mine.
Yes, that's a good idea.
I was gonna drop it in gear, but I wasn't there for the instructions on whether or not, what happens when it's in gear and you hit a windmill.
Well, so when we go past the windmills, we should leave it as it is right now, because that's what we had to do with the windmills. We had to pick up speed and then pop it into neutral, and it just kind of took it from there. Was my understanding. But we do have the brakes that we can use eventually when it comes time to start slowing it down. And if we ever need to go backwards, we should first brake and then use the pump thing the opposite direction. The lever. That's what I think it's called.
Yeah, so once we pass the last windmill, throw that sucker in reverse.
No, brake.
Hit the brakes, then throw it in reverse.
Brake, stop, then go to reverse.
Prepare for a speedy getaway, is all I'm gonna say.
He's preparing for an inevitable oh shit moment. Alright.
Inevitable is the operative word.
Really? I thought the operative word was oh shit moment. That's the key phrase there.
Yep. I mean, with you guys, it's one after another. So yes, off in the distance you see a windmill, and the cart is doing its normal gradual slowdown as it begins to approach and gets ready for the next kickoff. Anything you guys do before we hit the next windmill?
Real quick, do I need to look like anybody else? Do I need to look like a
Cobalt?
No. An investigator? Do I need to look like somebody from the...
I think we're probably okay. I mean,
okay.
We were deputized, right? We got the little bracelets that tell us.
We gotta do what we say anyway.
I got a sexy little ankle bracelet.
Then Chlor will remain looking like Chlor.
Aw, the best type of floor to look like.
Aww.
How romantic. Oh, Clore, I like you just the way you are.
I thought you were supposed to do that in a Mr. Rogers voice.
I mean, I could also do it with, the Billy Joel. Don't go changing.
Just to please me?
I prefer
me.
You doing it to Tabaxi voice.
You have never let me down before. No.
Delightful.
Alright. Well, the windmill continues to approach, and as you guys hit it again, the cart kicks off. And off in the distance, now that the sun continues to slowly rise, you can see what appears to be some supplies kind of piled up loosely. You're still some distance out from the mine itself, but you can see what appears to be boxes. They're covered with some netting type material in order to kind of keep them together. Different supplies. There's piles of there's pipes, there's metal, there's stacks of wood. There's just various boxes of different symbols and labels and things on them as you kind of zip on by. Just various materials. Stuart, you had a face. You're thinking something. You're processing.
Yeah, it's just a weird place to have a lot of stock. I wonder what the stock is, but we're still going past it, so I can't.
Yep.
I can't really tell. Are there any noticeable icons or brand?
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage as you guys are zipping by.
Yeah, so that's not important.
What did you roll?
2.
Okay.
That was
not a nat 1,
by the way.
That was a nat 2? Yeah, it was an adjusted 2. Because my adjustment is +0.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Natural 2. No, unfortunately, you just kind of make out there's different colors, there's different symbols. You're like, those are definitely supplies, but, where they're from, what they could be. However, you do know from your experience within the cities that a lot of those markings do have distinct purposes. It's just kind of escaping you as to what's what at the moment. So you have that going for you. If you had time, you could probably work out what these supplies are. And as you continue to approach the mountain, the cavernous opening shows itself to be taller and taller and taller. And before long, you are entering where the tracks meet, only a few hundred yards from the opening of this cavern.
Are we slowing down at all?
Just the natural gravity, or the natural slowdown.
Does it seem like that would be enough natural slowdown to come to a relatively copacetic stop when we get to our final destination?
You have no idea the distance between where you are and your final destination.
Hey guys, should we break? We're going kind of fast.
I think probably a good idea.
Okay.
Did we pass the windmill?
Yeah, we passed the windmill.
Yeah. Throw the brakes on.
Someone else do it. My strength modifier is a -1.
Theo shall pull a brake.
All right. You go over and you just grab the handle and you pull it. And as you do, you feel the resistance as the brake is pulled. The cart almost immediately begins to lurch into a slowdown. Not nearly as drastic as the kickoff. When you guys hit the first windmill, going only kind of fast. But you realize that you have to hold it in order for the things to slow down, and the squeaking and screeching of the brakes and gears is some of the loudest, highest pitched noises you guys have ever heard, as it just
It's just horrible.
As Theo holds on to the lever, and then as the cart does begin to actually slow down to a more reasonable pace, you can feel the pressure on the lever actually release a little bit, and you let go and realize that the mechanism kind of holds it in place and the slowing continues, but you don't need to be holding on, keeping tension on it as the cart continues to slow down. Can you roll me a D8?
Sure. It's a 6.
All right. You estimate now at the current positioning of everything it's going to take about 6 rounds, so just over 30 seconds for the cart to come possibly to a complete stop, as it's, you're going from nice rapid speed to having held that lever back. It's a bit jarring, but you guys are used to kind of being on this after so many hours.
Is there like an intelligence check or something where I can see if that would put us inside the cavern or stop us short?
Yeah, give me an intelligence check. That's not a bad option.
15.
All right, you kind of look at how far you guys are and how quickly things are slowing down, and you realize that it's probably going to stop right at the mouth of the cavern at this current rate.
That's probably good.
All right, but you can see that the track does continue off into it.
I would like to relay that to Theo, but also that's better than running too fast into the mouth of the cave, so.
Gotcha. All right. As long as we don't, derail or crash into anything, that's my worry. I don't want to wind up like all those other.
We can always lever ourselves.
Exactly. We can keep moving if we need to.
Yeah.
Okay, so just as a curiosity, looking about the party, does everybody look like they're in good physical condition, or does it look like I need to do some healing?
Chlor got a long rest. He feels great.
Theo, patched himself up, is feeling pretty good after that nice long rest that he got.
That nice long rest that Theo had.
So everybody's in good shape? Nobody's in need of, `healing or anything?
I think we're good going in here.
I'm at about half.
Oh.
So you're looking a little tired, a little run down, not feeling so well.
Definitely look like I could use a good night's sleep and food and maybe some bruises.
Maybe I could cast a little healing since I got nothing else to do. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, one more. I've got one left in me. Here we go. That's 8. Oh no, you only get 6 points of healing out of that deal.
That's okay, that puts me at max.
Sweet.
Oh wow. Wait a minute.
6 put you up. Wait a minute.
Squishy wizard. Very squishy wizard.
Okay.
All right.
I think I mentioned I was squishy. I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, but that's really squishy.
Level 2 wizard.
my max HP is 14, guys.
Ooh, mine's only 15.
Hey, Renningham, what's your max HP?
13. And I'm at 9 out of 13, but I'll be fine. It's just that flesh wound. It'll rub off.
He'll talk his way out of any more damage, I'm sure. Or into
We'll see what the DM has
damage,
to say about that.
Probably talk himself into damage.
He's gonna just smack him upside the head sometime, and he's gonna it's gonna crit.
Actually, I would like to smack Renningham right now. Chlor turns and smacks him for trying to get us in trouble before we were deputized. Can I do that?
I mean,
in history,
it seems a little egregious.
You have to roll a hit still.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. I do 0 damage because my strength modifier is -1, but I get the point across.
You deal non-lethal damage.
Zero damage. But he understands my anger and frustration.
You deal emotional damage.
So specifically, on a hit, an unarmed strike deals bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength mod. So the fact that it's a 0 tells you what his strength mod is.
Correct. I deal 0 damage.
Yep. So you're just like,
What were you thinking,
Renningham?
Just let it go, man.
Well, I don't know why you're turning your ire towards me. I wasn't even the one that was causing all the trouble.
You got arrested.
A victim of circumstances, and I was at the will of a corrupt system.
Okay, but you don't have to fight the whole system. Just get out of there and we'll figure it out later.
If I don't, who does?
As you guys are having this conversation, the cart continues to slow down, and it stops just beyond the mouth of the cavern. And you can see now that the mouth is easily 150 feet up, and the track in front of you goes on into the darkness, but you can see where the natural light kind of begins to taper off. There appears to be torches that are red off in the distance.
The villagers have torches?
And I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, there's pitchforks too. And as you guys have now come to a halt at the mouth of the cave.
This is big. Do we want to get out of the car now, or do we want to, use it to move forward at a slower pace?
Slower pace.
Slower, very slow pace.
All right. Okay.
This cart seems to be our only way out of here, so we might want to stick close.
Are we protecting the cart?
Get to the checkpoint.
And if we want to get back out of here in a timely
Protect
manner.
the payload.
What is TF2?
Chlor is like looking around, very like scattered brains, like trying to see if there's like multiple exits to where we're walking, because we're gonna walk into the cave. Is there like doors? Is there like different ways in? Different
Give
exits?
me a perception check.
Okay.
Also, if TF2 is not a reference that people understand, Overwatch would be the next closest thing, because it's basically Blizzard's version of TF2.
It's true.
People
That's
need
true.
to stop pretending it's not.
Accurate.
That would be an 8 total.
You see a lot of rock. There is a lot of rock. It appears to be a very rough-hewn surface as it narrows down towards the tunnel. Now, it is quite a ways off where it begins to narrow. It's probably another 100 yards or so before things really kind of taper down. You do see lots of random debris. It looks like just kind of junk that's been pulled out. There's piles of amorphous blobs of what appears to be, semi-melted and dried, like rock and metal. For those who've ever touched in with metalworking, it looks like it might be some slag, just kind of errant remnant slag from any refining processes going underneath. There's more boxes and things covered with nets and different markings and symbols on them. Some are just kind of haphazardly strewn about. Other ones appear to be organized and marked relatively similarly. And there also looks to be a small campfire that's been, long since put out, but there's, the stones in an orderly fashion with some ashes on it off to the side, beside the rails.
Should we make a plan before we go in, or kind of wing it like we usually do?
Let's, figure out exactly what we're doing here, right? I mean, we're here about the changeling folks, or the folks who apparently all looked alike, right, with their clothes. So, do we try to find, someone else wearing similar clothes, or what are we doing here?
Well, last time we talked to whoever was in charge, and I looked like that person to see their reaction and if they recognized, and then they didn't, so we came here. So I could do that again, but we're also very far away from everything else, so if they decide they don't like us, we could be in trouble.
So we leave the cart in a place where it's easy to get to.
Already in reverse, as Renningham suggested.
Yeah.
And then we do our investigation with Investigator Bob, and if
Chief
things
Detective
go
Bob.
bad, we run.
I like
So
that
we're
idea.
establishing our escape plan right now.
Yes, I like that.
As long as there's a way out. That's very important to remember.
We should always burn our boats. No escape is needed.
Don't overcommit yourself, and don't listen to Bob.
But Bob, you lead the investigation, not the escape.
Okay, that's fair.
Renningham, escape.
Okay, that's fair.
Theo, keep everybody happy. Penn,
Gotcha, buddy.
try not to kill anybody. Here we go.
Will do.
Will you?
So are you guys going to
Depends on
continue
whose
on
will
the
it
cart?
is.
Or are you leaving the cart and walking?
We are going to
escape
continue with the cart.
Okay.
Till the point where we're not able to, I think.
Manually.
Yes.
But as a reaction, I prepare Mage Hand to switch the cart in reverse.
I like it. I think it's a good idea.
I mean, really, to reverse it, didn't we just have to figure out, the pump the lever the opposite direction from what we were doing? Never mind.
I do not remember.
No, because it's just up and down, so I think we have to
Okay. So there's a switch that we have to switch then. Okay.
Yeah, the same one as the brake, but instead of braking, you just put it in.
Good to know. All right, good. So, yeah, we keep going slowly until we get to the point where that's not perfect.
Sounds good to me. I like that idea.
All right, so who's on the levers?
I will
Theo
be.
will.
I'll be on the lever.
Oh, yeah, you two, you got it.
I will be maintaining a vigilant eye for.
All right, I need my lever pullers to roll me athletics checks.
Interesting.
If you are the primary, then you roll it. If you're the secondary assisting on a particular side, you can basically give the other person an advantage.
How about a 10? Would a 10 work?
So as the two of you try to push down on the levers, Renningham, yours is kind of the one that's up higher, and you're kind of hoping that it would come down. And the thought occurs that the brake is engaged.
So I'm gonna just undo the brake. Just gonna little switch flip.
And you're gonna try again.
Brake.
You guys are gonna.
Yeah, undo the brake. I'm gonna give it another go. Undo the brake. Give it another go. Put it in drive actually, so we're continuing forward.
Or looks at Renningham expectantly.
Brake just kind of clicks out.
I cough, and I roll up my sleeves. Get back on the old lever there, and
it's practice for the escape plan.
You got this, buddy. You got this.
Yeah, it's just practice for the escape plan.
We're looking at a 4. It's a solid 4.
Close.
And I look around.
Yeah,
see if anybody notices.
You, with some difficulty, begin to push the lever. Where Renningham, he's kind of actually dangling. That's why he's having such difficulty. Is that the lever's just tall enough.
I have no purchase.
Yeah, and you get a little advantage because he's got weight slowly pulling it down. So you're able to get it going, and the cart slowly begins to roll again.
And now it's easier.
Yeah.
So
you guys both roll again.
12.
Okay, 12, and then Penn, I need another one for you.
Easier.
The athletic?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a 0.
No way.
I have a -1 modifier.
So it's the first natural 1 of the session.
Yay.
Actually 1.
And then the -1 on the strength score or the athletics check. Athletics check. And yes, that's a 0, a natural 0. So Renningham.
Clore looks right at Renningham and just gets off of the cart and starts walking faster than the cart is probably moving at this point.
You know what? Good idea. We can walk faster. We have greater mobility. There's a lot more options for us to bob and weave, as it were. And I shove it into park, or I shove it into reverse, because we're not moving fast at all. And then I hop off as well.
As you pop it into reverse, as you had been rolling, the gears resist as you pop it into neutral, and then pop it into reverse, and you hear it screech.
I grind the clutch a little bit.
Yeah. No, I
grind it a little bit. I'm sorry.
Roll me some percentile dice.
The D10 looks an awful lot like a D8. Oh, wait a minute. I guess that's just 10. A 10 and a 0.
Wait,
technically isn't the 0 a 10?
100?
So show me the die roll. Show me the dice. Just show me what they landed on, because I don't know how your percentile dice. Yes, that is a 10. That is a 10 even.
Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, 10.
All right.
So how would I roll 100 then?
All zeros.
Oh.
Because then it's
I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10%. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
You can either make percentile dice go 0 to 99 or 1 to 100. It all depends on how you do the all zeros. All right. So the cart is braked. It is set in reverse, and you guys are leaving it here at the entrance of the cave and begin to collect your things. Do you guys do anything before heading inside? Do you just what are you doing?
Is there still only one entrance?
I'm going to suggest that we take a long rest before going in, because I am devoid of any spell casting capability.
Hey, DM.
Oh, we took a rest on the cart.
Yes, Sam. What can I answer?
Never mind. I realized I don't have the spell components for it yet anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Do you have a spell focus that would negate the need for?
I don't. I'm a ranger. I don't do spell focuses.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
I need a wire and a tiny bell. I had an idea, but it won't work.
What kind of wire do you need? We might be able to get one off this cart.
Tiny bell and a piece of fine silver wire.
Not gonna get
so
that off.
unfortunately, probably not. Nope.
There are lots of random boxes in the surrounding area.
Theo would never dream of stealing.
Okay, but
Penn wants to open a box.
Yeah, if we're doing a long rest, Clore, having just taken a long rest, is going to spend time going through every single box.
What are you guys doing? Those don't belong to us.
I mean, are we doing a long rest? Like, if we're gonna sit here for however many hours, and if no one comes out here to the front of the cave.
I don't think
Wait, are we doing a long rest for everybody?
No, I mean, Bob needs a long rest. He said.
Yeah. If we can pull that off, that would be very beneficial to my character.
It's like another. That's like another half of a day. I mean, all right.
So Renningham just starts walking deeper into the mines.
Theo's gonna follow him after kind of freaking out if people are checking out those boxes, though, if he notices.
If Bob's just starting to kind of sit down and pull out his bedroll.
Do we?
I am not doing that.
All right. Well, running him out, I don't think that you should go alone, so I'll come with you, okay?
I mean, it's good to have a reserve force. Someone needs to stay back, make sure the cart doesn't roll away.
Well, I'm not staying at the mouth of a cave by myself, so I'm going with the party.
Nothing but bats to worry about.
So you say.
Here we go. We're all going.
I don't know. Sounds like Bob's want to hang back. Which you know what? You do you, boo boo.
What's Penn doing with all this?
Please don't split the party.
I was. What are my options?
In the cave with everybody,
Renningham,
or
Theo,
stay
and Clore have all started walking towards the deeper portion of the cave, continuing along, while Bob has, started setting himself up to be able to take a actual long rest where he can relax.
I'll stay with Bob and play Guardian. I'm partial to Bob.
Aww. That's the second nice thing that's happened to me today. This is like the best day ever.
Aww.
I have a fluffy cat who wants attention. All right.
Give the fluffy cat attention.
TM is like, yes.
The toy he brought is outside of range of where I can reach with my headset right now, so we're not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Bee does the same thing with her bottle cap. She drops him just outside of my reach.
Yeah.
Come on, cat. You want me to throw him? You got to bring him here.
What's the nice part though is that he brings it to me relatively, so that I could play with him. So that is really cute because he wants me to do that, but he needs to bring it to my feet. Whatever. Anyway. Yes, so Penn and Bob stay at the cart so that Bob can get himself a long rest while the rest of the party starts the trek into the caves. Any last pleasantries before you guys go your separate ways for the time being?
Hey, Bob and Penn, I mean, we're headed down there. I don't know how easy it'll be for us to reach one another, but you two take care of yourselves, all right? And keep an eye out, because we did see that thing, quite a ways back. I don't know anything about it, how quick it moves, if it's the only thing. If anything happens, start yelling and come and find us, and we'll try to reach you as soon as possible, too.
Don't worry, lots of profanities will happen.
Do make a loud noise and make sure you keep your eyes out. If anything happens, you'll probably see a small owl head this way.
And can you guys do your long rest on the cart?
Oh yes.
So that if we need to exit quickly, you can already have it.
Yes. All right. So, as you guys start your trek into the cave, it's not long before you reach the first set of lamps. And they're large. They're about 2 feet tall, about a foot wide, set firmly into the stone. And it appears to be some sort of modified glowing crystal that glows a vibrant red. And it has a good solid, 40-50 foot spread of light coming from the crystal. There appears to be some metal wrapped around it, and a pipe that attaches at the bottom and goes to the floor, and it runs along the cavern as you guys continue heading further in. Further down another 100 feet or so, there is another slightly smaller version of this that also connects to that main pipe, and there's ones on both sides of the cavern, kind of evenly lighting it as you go.
So in between these, does it go to complete pitch black darkness, or is it lead into the next one?
Just shy of complete darkness before you're really starting into the light of the next one.
I can barely see.
Yeah, it's considered dim light unless you're not actually going into pitch black, but it's dim light until you're right by it again, and then it's full brightness. However, everything has this, is red.
Mm-hmm.
So you're mostly seeing everything in kind of one color.
What's the ground? Are we walking on just normal gravel, like what it's been?
It feels like just normal stone. There's sections that are a bit dustier and sandier, but for the most part, you have transitioned onto some form of stone. It's hard to tell with everything being the same color. You can definitely see there's different shades to the stone, but what their natural colors are is not as obvious.
While we walk, I would like to listen very intently and focus all of my attention on if another cart is coming out of this tunnel, potentially running into. I will let Theo lead and follow Theo and Runningham. I just want to focus on, am I hearing or feeling vibrations of potentially someone coming out and running into our cart that is waiting outside?
Okay. So you, hearkening back to what you did running across the tracks but a few days prior, carefully put your hands on the track and lay low and try to relax and feel for what you're feeling. So roll me a survival check, because it kind of follows closer to tracking than it does to just straight up looking for something.
Oh, that's a natural 1.
Oh.
With a total of 4.
Okay, that's the second natural 1 of the session.
That is number 2, yes.
As far as you can tell, there's no real sensation coming down further from the track. Nothing that stands out.
Having done this before, I feel reassured. Continue on.
All right.
I know what I'm doing.
Train comes full speed, splatters you all dead. No.
Roll the characters.
Is there
you guys?
Is there like a side part of it, or are we walking on the tracks?
There's
how tight is it?
There's a bit of space on either side, like about 5 feet on each side of the track. It's not much wider than what the train cars would be going side by side through here.
I mean, I know we're here to track down, whatever we can about those unpleasant folks from the alleyway. But while we're here, let's also keep our ears peeled or eyes peeled for a cat, maybe, or any. Not that cat, but that cat's very cute. Damn.
I threw the toy in a place he can't get it now. He brought it actually to my feet. All right, I'm gonna actually go help him real quick. Give me just a hot second.
You betrayed him. How dare you?
I know. I feel terrible about it.
He's being a bad human.
But you guys can talk amongst yourselves. Give me 2 seconds.
Keep our eyes and ears peeled for any sign of Smokey the cat, and maybe our painter too.
All right, I'm back. We're good.
If all goes well on the way out, we'll go ahead and call for Smokey and see if he answers. But on the way out, not on the way in.
No, of course not.
We'll make that part of our exit strategy, Runningham.
I've written it down.
On the total, he totally has sheets of paper and a pen. He's keeping solid notes.
In the dark, just writing down the exit plan as we walk.
It's just like,
His Palm Pilot.
Ha
90% of it is just run back out the way we came.
Go, turn around and run.
So you guys continue to go another 100 feet, and you guys reach the next light, and it's a similar size to the previous one. So the largest one was closer to the entrance. These ones are smaller as you go. And you reach the next one, and then you start to hear a faint humming, and it's not the same as a train cart on the track, but it's a faint mechanical hum. And as you approach the next crystal that's glowing on the wall, it's large again, similar to the one up by the entrance. However, there's a section of the wiring that goes and directly connects to the tracks and then runs along to the next set of tracks. And that whole section has a faint hum to it, but the tube of conduit still continues along the walls on both sides.
Does this remind us of the hum at the original station when carts would come in and go out, and they would stop them and start them and send them on? Is it like a receiving station?
Roll me an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm not gonna like the outcome of this. 18.
It definitely sounds similar, but to say that it's the same would be a bit hard to judge. Is the best I can really give you. It's like it's reminiscent of, but to say it's functioning the same, because the previous one you didn't see conduits or anything like this,
right?
But you do recognize the sound.
I'll just say, I think we're almost there. Let's go. Let's walk.
And Theo will follow Clore. And it's kind of curious here. He says, well, why do you think all the crystals are dark red? I mean, you got people who are mining. Wouldn't it make more sense to use normal colored lighting? What's the point of it all being red? It's difficult to tell anything from anything else, really.
Red could be a symbol, like stop. Like there's a cart coming, so don't send one out. It could just be like a notification. Maybe they turn if it's like clear track, and maybe it's a warning system.
Color changing lights would be kind of cool, I think.
That would be cool.
New.
Can Chlor walk up to one of the lights and like inspect it and see if like I don't know, is it magical or like what? If does it change?
Sure.
Or is it always red?
Roll an investigation check.
It's the chairs.
It's the chairs. Have you seen a chair? 17.
All right. As you look at the whole kind of getup, you see that the crystal is kind of encased in metal, tightly along. The crystals so far all have seemed very uniform. The only real difference being like exactly how they were positioned against the stone wall. And there's some thick metal bands that also hold them in place. I think similar to like a train lantern, where it's got like the metal bars to kind of protect the light bulb, except these are in front of the crystal. The conduit appears to reach the bottom of this base, and then from what you can tell, must be points that it's connecting. Something is connecting to this crystal that tie into the conduit. Anything else when it comes to like color change or light intensity, you don't really see any sort of mechanisms for that. But you suspect that whatever control system is in place would be somewhere prior to this section of conduit.
So, Theo, the crystals are clearly controlled by what? I don't know. From where? I don't know. And why? I don't know. Let's just keep going.
It'll be very interesting to figure this out. That way I could tell my little brother next time I see him, or send him a letter.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand to try and pull, and using the Mage Hand, try and pull one of the cables that's attaching to the crystals, like trying to yank it away from the crystal.
Okay.
Things
Roll me
are
some
looking set
percentile
up.
dice. Roll me some percentile dice. Let's go. Let's just go.
Let's just.
Mechanical something or other.
I
You know,
love
clearly the
your
gnomes
use of
have gone and they've
12.
set this up. And
It's a fat 12.
You watch as the mage hand just grabs onto the conduit, and it's this faint, spectral hand, and it doesn't do anything. 10 pounds of force isn't enough to really make it move.
I keep
worth a shot. Yeah, keep walking.
Right.
Delve deeper.
Yay!
That's a fun game. You go another 100 feet or so before you find the next crystal, similar in size. It's one of the smaller ones. And then another 100 feet, there's another crystal, another 100 feet. Before long, you guys realize you've gone, half a mile into this mountain before
all we see is a bunch of nothing.
the pitch sharply changes. What was mostly level or seemingly level sharply changes, and you can see where the train track is carefully pivoted to not derail as it goes over this hump into the pitch change.
Is there a light change? Like, can we see a distant light, or are we same crystal?
I mean, you're intentionally looking for it. So the next light further down from where you are standing looks to be a slightly more orange than it is red.
Is it a singular crystal? Like, it's just a slightly more orange crystal, or is it like orange glow coming from the...
From this distance, you can see mostly orange crystal. It's hard to tell the glow, considering you are standing in the red glow.
I don't like this. Like, we're too far on foot. We're gonna get buried down here. I don't like this.
I want to coax Scott out of my pack, and I want to kind of send him forward, send him on down, have him scout the area ahead.
All right, Scott.
A tiny beast. He has good stealth and perception, has dark vision
120,
and a passive perception of 13. He's able to fly, so he doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach. And he has advantage on wisdom checks that rely on hearing or sight.
What a good little owl.
Yeah, that's super convenient.
And his size gives him a armor class advantage.
Yeah. So, you send Scott up ahead, and he listens carefully to your instruction and kind of goes off. And as he does, you get the mental messages back. What's the range on that? Is it 120 feet for the mental messages? Or is it 60?
30 feet.
It's 30 feet, okay.
Feet. That's very, very close.
All right, so very quickly he is out of range, and he just kind of flaps down.
Yeah.
A minute goes by, 2 minutes go by, 3 minutes go by.
Okay,
and then you
Scott's
see
fine.
Off in the distance a dark thing flapping in your direction. And as it gets closer, it becomes more obvious that it's now reflecting more of the light that you expect. And it is Scott. And suddenly Scott is within range. And you get mental pictures of red, orange, 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 yellow, 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 green, 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 green.
The rainbow!
It's telling us how close we are.
And then he turned around and it was green, 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 yellow, 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 orange, 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 as he came back.
So it doesn't seem like there's much up ahead. The only thing that seems to be changing is the colors of the lights.
What are the colors?
Yellow, orange, red, and green. It gets greener the further you get.
Well, like, I mean, that light down there's like it's orange, right? So are we talking like the order of the rainbow? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet?
That seems like a long way. We should go back and just get the cart.
Might as well just take the cart.
I like that idea.
Let's go back and get the cart.
Sure. And Theo kind of hangs back with Core as he lets Winningham take the lead on the way back to the cart. A bit. How you doing? Doing okay?
I don't like this.
I know.
I feel like we're gonna get buried in here. I hate these things. You know I hate these things.
It'll work out.
I know you hate these things. I don't know if it's much help, but think about it this way, right? I mean, they're still running a mining operation out of here, right? Now, it seems like these gnomes have a pretty good mind for safety. Obviously, with what recently happened with the tracks, that was more of a freak accident than anything. But if you absolutely need to, if you want to turn back at any point in time, you just tell me and we can turn around and we can head back out into open air, okay?
People don't come out of caves. They shouldn't make a living in caves. We shouldn't be here. I don't understand why anyone would want to be down here for a living.
Is this where we reference it to mine again?
Let's just go get
You call it a mine.
Let's just go get the cart so we can get out faster. I don't like walking.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go get the cart. All right. Yeah.
Hey, by
go
the
get
way,
that cart.
Thanks for helping us out back there with the fighting. I know you don't like to fight.
Well, remember, we didn't really have to do it at all, really, on the road here. We managed to kind of avoid any sort of trouble, so that was, to be honest, the first time I've ever done that to anything that weren't a deer or a rabbit or any type of game animal.
No, but you're good at hunting, so just think about it as you were hunting to feed us, and now you're hunting to protect us.
Sure.
19 kobolds.
I will try to keep that in mind. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. That's helpful. All right, let's catch up with Birmingham, shall we? The sooner we can get to the cart, the sooner we can get this over with. The sooner we can get back into the open and out of this cave.
Go. I like that. Thank you.
All right. As you guys begin your trek back, we're going to switch to Pen and Bob.
Cool.
Bob, you are actively trying to get yourself a nice long rest and recover some spell slots and everything.
Yep.
Pen, are you doing anything in particular while you wait?
Nope, not this time.
How
Actually, I
long
take
were
that
we
back.
gone?
Does Bob have I'm sorry. Can I have a physical description of Bob when I look at him?
He's just kind of laying back on the little push cart, trying to like.
No. I mean like your physical attribute.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Paint us a picture.
Well, I'm basically an Aasimar, which means that I have kind of delicate-ish features. I'm not bulked up or anything. If I remember correctly, I'm at like 120, 135, somewhere in that range. Moderately fair skin, basically imagine kind of elfy, except of angelic descent. Does that help any?
Yeah. So Penn's like looking at Bob and taking all these angelic features and just like quietly comparing them to all of his semi-demonic features.
Oh no!
That's all.
I'm being inventoried. I better not die. I'm going to become part of the collection.
I mean, the weak are meat and the strong do eat, right? That's how that goes.
We never lied.
I feel like there's a shelf being set aside in a necromancer's castle for me, somewhere in the tower. This will go good in that collection.
He's figuring out how to taxidermy you.
As part of this, Penn, can you roll me a perception check?
Okay.
You've been studying Bob.
9.
Okay. Yeah, no. It's just a moment your eyes just wander and just kind of take in the surroundings, and it's just kind of like a big freaking cave. So, Clore, you had asked a question earlier about how long you had been traveling for.
Yeah, how long away from the cart? Like how deep had we gotten in that short time where we barely got to the end of the red?
You guys, to get there and back was about an hour.
Yeah. So it's probably good we're grabbing the cart. Theo and Runningham, I think we should probably be quiet and see if we can let Bob actually finish his rest and see if we can just move the cart quietly, like calmly, since we're not going to go fast anyway. He seemed like he really needed a rest.
I think that's a good idea. That's very considerate of you, Flora. I like that idea.
Being quiet is a rather strong suit of mine. I've always been known to be quiet. People, the last time that I was in
This
a
is a
situation
good example
where I
of
needed
you
to
not
be
being
quiet,
quiet.
they told me that I needed to be quiet.
And Theo puts a hand over Riddingham's mouth and just kind of
Yeah, that checks out. That checks out. That tracks.
I'm being oppressed.
All right, you guys all meet up back together at the cart.
So, Penn, anything happened while we were gone?
Nope.
So we decided we're gonna take the hand cart. We're gonna let Bob sleep, so we're gonna move it as quietly as we can. There's a lot of lights of different colors, about an hour's walk by foot that way. We reached the end of red, it was gonna be orange and then yellow, green, all that sort of stuff. So for ease of travel, we wanted to take the cart. So we're gonna try to be as I don't know what the word would be, like when you're not trying to catch attention, when you're trying to be not necessarily sneaky, like I'm not very good with a word, but we're gonna do that with Bob so we can let him rest.
Incongruous.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
You just hear Clore mutter a word under his breath, but you can't make it out. Shake his head.
So how do you guys go about starting to move the cart discreetly?
Runningham, since you know how to change the gears, supposedly, why don't you put it back in neutral, and me and Theo will push it by hand to get it rolling slowly, and then we'll just let it kind of roll in, so we don't have to lever it. We can see if we can just kind of push it a little bit, just enough to get it moving. Because once we hit that hill, about an hour in, it'll just
go.
Pick our speed up.
Well, it's about a half hour in. It was an hour of round trip.
Oh, sorry, about a half hour in, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So can we try that? We'll try that.
So who's already on the cart and who's going to be pushing?
Clore's pushing.
Theo is pushing.
All right, who's primary, who's aiding?
Theo is primary. Clore's giving him advantage.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I promise you that's the better option.
I got it. I understand. I fully understand. All right.
Roll away your athletics check there.
Athletics check.
Theo, not Bob. Theo. I don't know why I suddenly thought you were Bob. You're not Bob.
With advantage?
Yes, with advantage.
Thank God.
That is a 12.
So, you're both standing beside the cart, and it was reasonable thinking to like see if you can move it gently from the side as opposed to from the back. You don't want to shove it too hard, and as you go, it's not actually moving. You're realizing you're having a hard time gripping, and so you don't actually get it to move more than a few inches before it just kind of slides to a stop. You have to try again.
I don't think that's really working.
Is Bob like leaning against the lever when he's sleeping? Like how, if we move the lever, is that actually going to mess up his sleep? Like I guess we could just try that.
I'll let Bob decide. Bob, are you laying against the lever on accident?
I think that we should allow a random roll of the dice to make that decision. So what do you guys think? Like a 50%?
D&D fashion. Let's see. Let's say like highs are no, lows are yes.
And we're gonna make the cutoff at 50%.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what happens. All right.
I mean, I guess the DM can decide that.
Well, I rolled an 8%.
So he is leaning against the lever.
Yep.
Pen, come help us. Pen, we need more help pushing. Pen
helps.
Thank you.
You need to like gently move him.
Sorry, what do I need to roll?
Athletics check with advantage.
Oh, it's a minus. Oh boy.
I mean, I have a negative modifier, so.
So do I. So we're
So this is where Theo and Clore, you guys are still on the sides trying to get this going, and Pen just kind of walks around to the back and just starts shoving. And between the three of you, it starts to actually move. And Pen, you are able to like kind of grip your feet onto the railroad ties a bit and get some leverage. And the cart slowly starts to move. And then you hear a faint screeching noise as it starts to move a little bit faster, and then it slows to a stop again.
That ain't working.
Runningham, is it in neutral? Is it in neutral?
It should be.
Shh. He's sleeping.
Why do you ask me if it was a neutral?
Sad voice, Ren.
Wait.
Sleeping.
Let's just put it in forward and then move it, and maybe it will keep moving. I know that's not how like.
Well, peeking over the cart, though, can Theo see that that Bob is leaning up against the lever?
Give me an investigation check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Bob, this better be worth it.
All right. That is a 9.
You glance over, and you can see that indeed Bob in his sleep has rolled into a position that he might be pushing a bit against that lever.
Guys, hold on. Just 1 second. And Theo, DM, question here. Prefacing this, of course, Theo has family, siblings, and a mom who he's definitely had to schlep around, maybe?
Yes.
In certain situations. Would it be possible for Theo to gently redirect Bob in the cart so he's no longer impeding the lever?
Oh, please call this animal handling. Oh, please call it animal handling.
I think that's a good idea.
So funny.
It's going to be an opposed check, though, if we're going to use animal handling, so that'll be fun.
I'm not calling it animal handling. The DM can decide, but why would I call it
animal handling?
Just because I think it's funny.
I think just for the sake of the flavor at this point, we might as well make it animal handling. And here's my justification.
Okay,
Bob is trying to sleep.
He's a sleeping animal.
And so most of the simple reactionary things is you try to gently, you remember your younger brother, as you would have to like carefully move him from the table because his face was like sat halfway on the plate and you didn't want it to leave a mark for the next morning. And so you just gently shift him over, and every so often he would like, and he would knock over a cup that still had water in it, stuff like that. And you're trying to prevent those natural, not necessarily cognizant reactions. And so we're going to say that that's a little bit of an animal handling, because he's not really, it's not a human specific thing. Cats and dogs all do it too when you try to move them while they're asleep.
That's true.
However, Bob, you are going to roll a wisdom saving throw.
All right, cool.
Opposed to Theo's animal handling check.
Hey, here we go.
Let's
that's a 10.
Okay. Bob, what is your wisdom saving throw.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 10.
No.
You're looking to beat a 10.
Oh, no.
Should be easy. You've got
It's
this.
gonna be easy. Sorry. I rolled a 13.
So as you gently try to shift Bob out of the way, Bob, you're not used to being touched. Not really.
Thank you for saying touched instead of anything else.
I mean, am I wrong though? You're not really used to.
Not at all.
Especially not with this crew. How do you react to suddenly feeling someone while you were sleeping, trying to gently shuffle your shoulders aside?
Well, if it were a furry animal, I would respond reasonably positively, but no. If it were a reptile, I'd respond negatively. But no fur, no reptile skin. This is weird. I'm awake. What the heck?
All right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Bob.
What's going on here? What are you guys
I
up to?
want you to be able to go back to
I didn't
sleep,
do it.
okay? So
What?
no, you're not in trouble. Just wanted to move you over so you can go back to sleep. We're moving the cart. We wanted you to be able to rest. I wasn't trying to wake you up at all. I'm sorry. We're gonna
We were
head deeper
being
into
very
the barn.
quiet, so you were able to get your long rest in because you needed to rest. You said you needed to rest before we left, and we wanted to make sure you were able to rest. So we were quiet.
We don't want
this
you to
whole
have
time.
to walk or anything. We're trying to move the cart all quiet. But the problem was that in your sleep, it seems that you were kind of leaning up against the lever, and we didn't want to, have any trouble with that. So.
Tell you what, why don't we just head on down, and whenever let's get this cart to its final destination where we're going to put it, and then I'll think about taking a nap again.
I'm really sorry to have woken you up. I really wasn't trying to do
Well, it's
that.
okay there, don't you know? That's all right.
Don't you know?
Nothing.
Well, I guess that speeds the process up. Let's go ahead and start moving
Sorry,
the cart.
I'm so sorry,
Thanks
Bob.
a lot, Theo.
I apologize. I was trying to make it so that we could actually move the cart.
All right, so with the brake lever no longer impeded, who's pushing the cart?
I'm still kind of keeping an eye on everybody because this is a little
We
weird.
Still
can't
Chlor.
hear you, Dave. Oh, there
Still
you go.
Chlor. Yep.
All right, so Chlor, Theo, Penn.
Yeah.
I guess I need athletics checks. At least one of you, whoever else is aiding, will get advantage or give advantage to the person who's doing the bulk of the pushing. Dave keeps muting himself as he tries to talk.
I hate everything. Chlor is giving Theo advantage because he's useless.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Theo, roll an athletics check again.
That was a. All right. Well, I rolled 2. The first one was a 20, but I accidentally got rid of the roll.
Oh no, I could see it. It's still in the game log. So
Oh.
it was a modified. It was a dirty 20.
It was a dirty 20. Yes.
Yep. It's
Love that.
Yeah. All right. So now that Bob is no longer laying on the brake lever, you just start pushing the cart and it just starts rolling really smoothly. And you're now able to get it up to just about a walking pace. And you're able to kind of maintain it. Friction seems to be involved with slowing it down a little bit. But you're able to maintain a walking pace. Are you guys going to try to move it faster than that or no?
We wanted Bob to be able to rest while he's in the cart.
Oh,
so.
that's okay. We'll just keep going here.
I mean, you can try to keep resting if you'd like, but...
Oh, I don't know. After waking up with a whole bunch of people standing over me and I'm not even sick, it's just I think I'm gonna keep an eye on you guys for a little while.
I'm sorry, I really wasn't trying to do anything bad, to be honest. I was just trying to kind of nudge you out of the way.
I'm also checking all my pockets to make sure everything's still there.
You seem to feel very guilty, Theo. You have a guilty
Bob?
conscience.
I need you to roll percentile dice, Bob.
Okay.
Guilty conscience. No, I just feel bad for waking him up. He looked real tired, and I really didn't mean to wake him up.
Oh, it's okay.
So you have a guilty conscience.
Well, I don't know that I necessarily feel guilty about it. Guilty implies that I did something wrong. This was...
Did you? Did you do something wrong?
No. I mean, I did
Are
something...
you in denial?
23.
I did something unintended.
You are
Had an
missing
unintended consequence, but I didn't do
2
something
gold
bad.
and 3 silver.
Oh, man.
What?
Theo sounds pretty guilty to me, Bob. He keeps apologizing.
I'm just gonna continue and observe and pretend like nothing happened.
Look, I keep apologizing because I woke up a man who was trying to get a well-deserved rest.
Because you feel guilty because you were doing something.
Well, let's evaluate the terms well-deserved. I think I deserve a nice rest.
Then you should be
I think
able
you've
to take a
earned
rest.
quite a few things. I don't know about deserved.
I deserve what I earn?
Well, you've earned it.
As you guys
I have earned a nice rest.
are having this, you guys start to go into the tunnel where crystal lights are glowing brightly,
The drink?
illuminating.
There's
Yes,
liquid in
crystal
the
light.
sky?
Sure. You know what? Just for you, Pen, you know, that weird mushroom that you ate and didn't tell anybody is kicking in now.
That's why you don't try cave shrooms, guys.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Lucy's in a cave with mushrooms.
Since Bob is trying to rest, we're gonna have Pen instead roll me some percentile dice. Mostly because of timing and some other things. I think we might be able to do something interesting here.
47.
All right. You guys walk for about half an hour. You guys are approaching the point where the shift in pitch.
Wait, did you say walk?
Yes.
I thought we're on the cart.
You guys have been pushing the cart.
We were pushing
It's at
the
a
cart.
walking pace.
Oh, okay. I am. Yes, that makes very much sense.
Okay. Because you were trying to make as little noise and stuff as possible. You were just pushing it.
Sorry.
We
Bob.
wanted Bob to be able to rest, but we wanted to take the cart with us.
Yes, I walking pace makes sense because we're hand pushing. Yes.
And you can see off in the distance about where the crystal was that marked where the pitch change is. Actually, can I get a perception check from Theo and Renningham?
I mean, legally, yeah.
That's a 15.
What would illegally be?
Ooh, that's a 16.
Nice.
All right. So, as you are passing by the crystal that had extra conduit attached to the rails, you hear a faint clicking noise, just a tink, as you go over it, that is distinct. Nothing really happens. The cart doesn't change its speed. Just a faint tink as you go over it.
What's that mysterious ticking noise?
That means that there's some sort of witch or something in the tracks that we just passed over, maybe?
You have no real way of knowing, honestly.
I was just guessing.
However, you have now reached the point where the pitch is going to change, and I think we should stop here for the night.
Yay! Thank you, DM.
So, thank you guys. It's a good stopping point, I think, for where we're at and what's going on. And I know it was mostly traversal by cart, but we're going to have some very interesting things for next session, I believe, because you lot never leave anything dull for me. So, hope you enjoyed killing kobolds and
the shovel.
You know, thank you for riding handcart trainways. We're you know, really proud to have you as our patrons. And we'll see you next time. All right, for you viewers, real quick, I'm going to post the Discord if you want to see the schedule of things. Next time, we will start off with you guys with a cart in a cave with a box of scraps.
In a cart in a cave with a box of scraps in the cave with a cart on the cave.
It's close.
That's it.
Yeah, that works.
Almost.
That's how the song.
That's how the song goes. The Fox in the Cradle with the Silver Spoon, and there's a little boy blue.
Oh no,
man on the
that's
moon.
not. That's
Nah,
not.
I don't want to cry.
When you
That's fine.
Dad, I don't know when.
I don't need to cry. I don't need to cry. It's okay.
And maybe Renningham can work on that cart in the cave song and sing it for us opening next time.
Yeah.
Perfect. That sounds great. I mean, Renningham is a bard, so.
Oh, I love it.
So I should be coming up with a cart. Yeah.
Cart song.
okay.
I'll drink to that for sure.
Secret cart song. Secret cart song.
I love it.
Through the mountain.
Ta-da!
secret cart song. All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you guys, and we will see you guys all next time.